Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we're having such a party already right here, and we're going to carry on doing that right now and maybe celebrate some things that you may have not had any idea of, and that comes to our South African talent. Now, since the Springboks lifted the Webb Ellis Trophy on the 28th of October, Mzansi has been on an upward trajectory within the sporting space, and we thought, why not delve into it ahead of the Proteas in the semi-finals at this year's Cricket World Cup, happening in India, taking place very soon, and it's time to start off with, obviously, some things that we might be familiar with. Obviously, the Springboks beat the All Blacks in Paris to lift their historic fourth World Cup title and become only the second team to win back-to-back, otherwise known as book-to-book titles, and it was honestly something incredible. Yeah. I know we still are reveling in all the success, and I think we deserve it. It was a tough-fought victory. Nothing much needs to be said here, to be honest, right?
Just 1 point. It's always that point, you know? I've got a point to make. So that's kind of the thing.
That's what you've done there. But the point we're trying to make here is that obviously this has set the bar, but also open up the doorway to what I believe is the belief that South Africans have within themselves as well. We're talking about something like the triumphant display at the Golden Shears World Shearing and Wool Handling Championships in Scotland. And Team South Africa clinched the Blade Shearing Team World title. This is crazy. Firstly, the fact that this is even in a sport and an event. The fact that South Africans, of all people, dominated this. Bro, what's happening here?
So let's, take it back. It happened a few months ago, but, when the Springboks started winning, we were like, okay, cool. What's happening? We beat New Zealand, and then we beat New Zealand in the cricket, and then we're like, okay, guys, did you know that we beat them in sheep shearing as well? There's more sheep in New Zealand than there are people.
Oh, my word.
So I think it's like more than 5 million or 6 million sheep. So we beating them in that just shows, our guys are moving. And one of the participants, I was reading through it, he didn't finish school. He had to go and find things to do. And just finding that resilience. And that's South Africans. We're so resilient that we'll make a plan. We'll always make a plan to move forward in life.
And I would imagine you're referencing either Bonile Rabalela or Willem Kosi Mbuena, who were both a part of that team and secured the gold for the blade shearing division and individual divisions. And as you mentioned, Rabele also claimed the gold in the individual category, which is absolutely incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
This is just showing that South Africans are no longer sheeple. We are pioneers. We're pioneers, bro. No, and we're pioneering not only this space, but the fact that you were talking about Fynbos earlier, and I see we've got South African beekeepers making history. They debuted at the UK National Honey Show. Remarkable success, garnering praise for their work. This is, again, something that I had no idea about. Is this something that's happened for quite a long time? Is it very new to the space?
100 years old. That is how long the competition has been there.
This is older than some sports that we are
older than some sports. And we haven't been there before. This is the first time that we've actually participated. But if you look at our diversity in the country, we should have been there a long time already. We've got some of the best honey in the world. Like, I love honey. With our industry, we need to have honey, for our voices, keep it going.
And for your teas, for your gesels, your skin, alles.
And it's nice that we are now participating in the space that we've never been in. And I feel that we're going to dominate it for quite a few years. And I think that's what they're worried about. Because a lot of time people come here for the flora and fauna, but the honey concentration that we have in this country, you can find it anywhere. If you walk into any supermarket, you'll find pure honey. You walk anywhere in the country, it's there, and then it's locally produced. That's the nice thing about it. So maybe, maybe it's time for us to just go and grab some more honey.
Yeah, let's just go all the way with this, man. And you consider the fact that in our floral kingdom, we have some of the rarest and some of the most unique sort of species and variants around. That's something to definitely celebrate, man. So with that, obviously, notable wins obviously included David Roy Fontaine, who secured first prize for citrus honey. Audrey de Jong claimed third prize for eucalyptus Fynbos honey. That sounds delicious.
Yes, it does.
Then we got Peter Loubser receiving high commendation for Rooibos and Renosterveld honey.
That's the one I love, though. That's the one that just kind of captivated me when I started reading about it. Rooibos. And
I want some of this, man.
I want some of it.
Yeah. I also want some of this. South African hockey's road to Paris in 2024 concluded today. That's this morning, right?
Sorry, a few days ago.
A few days ago, right? It was with South Africa emerging victorious in both the men and women's category, clinching gold medals, securing qualification for the Olympics. I know that this is not a full-time sport for many.
It's not.
They are not getting salaries. They're doing the absolute most to put our country on this pedestal and juggling full-time jobs, families, and everything else without the support. This needs more accreditation. This
Yep.
needs more celebration than we actually really are aware of.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of them. You know quite a few of the guys as well. I know that you within that space. And
Yeah.
if I look back at the Kassim brothers, all coming from Central, locally
man,
from
yeah,
the Cape
Athlone
Flats, Athlone,
representing,
all
yeah.
the way. And it's nice to see that. And that's the problem that we have with the sport at the moment. If you look at the other guys playing around the world, they're all professionals. The same with our water polo guys that went to the Olympics. We just don't have a professional structure at the moment. And hockey is one of the most played sports in the country.
Globally, yeah.
No, but in our country alone,
Oh, shucks.
we've got so many hockey players that are not professional, so they have to go and work full-time in order to maintain this financially so that they can buy the equipment. And I'm hoping that with both teams now qualifying, it opens up the minds of corporate and SASCOC to actually go, because they've got this high-performance budget, but we know what's happening in our country. It's a bit sad that the money is not being utilized for the right sports. And when we're not medalists, we tend to look the other way, and that is what's been happening with the guys at the high level, because we're never going to win according to them. But I feel like if we put more money into it, we stand a chance. Let's push to get a bronze. We don't need to push to get a gold immediately. Let's work baby steps getting to that and getting onto the podium.
And clearly you can see with even just the smallest of investments, our people, our compadres can do the absolute most. Lord, thank you for coming through with this one. This is a worthy a note to celebrate. This is what we are about, getting behind our people.
Yeah.
And I think it's every reason to continue to get behind
today
South
as well.
Africa. The Cricket World Cup's happening in India. It's the semi-finals. We're taking on Australia.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a goodie. Hopefully another road to finals. And we're wishing them nothing of the best of luck. You can catch it on SABC3, SABC Sport, or download the SABC Plus app. And don't forget, there's no subscription fees apply at all. So sit back, enjoy, and let's support our Proteas.